I was an executive with a large parachurch organization, but more important than that for this experience was that I was feeling very frenzied by life. I was feeling very tired. I was busy in meeting people's needs. I was overly responsible, and because of that, frequently I was judgmental of other people who weren't meeting my expectations. I felt like a vending machine that people were throwing in their currency, and I had to produce continually, whether it be at home or on the job, in the church. I felt disconnected from God. I was really empty, and yet at the same time trying to provide leadership to others that were looking to me for spiritual leadership. I remember praying regularly, God grant me the joy of my salvation, and I couldn't get there. I couldn't feel that. I couldn't touch that in the way that I thought that God wanted me to understand Him. So it was a time of a real crossroads for me as a person of whether I was going to try to play out life on external energy or whether I was going to find something of deeper meaning and import in my own journey with God. It was a 21-day directed retreat of silence. I was alone in a cabin every day for 3 weeks. I met with the individual in charge of the retreat for an hour a day for 5 days a week, and then the weekends were all by myself. I was totally alone in this place of isolation. No radio, no TV, no books. The only thing I had was my Bible and some food that I had bought at a store so that I could survive physically during the time. The experience was not just an isolated think about nothing. It was very clearly directed to think about the guts of life and to reflect upon who I am, who I was, and understand myself more deeply as a person inside as well as outside. Well, first I was very excited because I finally got away from all the things I was attached to. I didn't have any responsibilities, I didn't have any obligations, and it felt very liberating. But after a few hours, that raised questions of could I do this for another 3 weeks? What would happen the next day? Would I be bored? Would I be discouraged? How about my family? And all the things that all of a sudden I did feel very much attached to that I was glad to get away from, and yet I missed them already. So it was really mixed emotions. I wasn't sure how this was going to play out. The silence allowed me to experience the depth of God's love and forgiveness, the pain of my own sin, in ways that I never took time to do beforehand. Tremendous emotion, lots of tears, unarticulated tears, that as I started looking at my own sin, my own life, I became very much emotionally involved with things that I had not felt before. From a long-term perspective, this was probably the most profound experience in my life in giving me a reorientation to understanding myself, understanding my God, and understanding how He wanted me to live. A real difference in quality of my commitments, of what I'm willing to be involved in, and the need for retreat and silence and backing away from too much external activity. So silence has become a valuable tool in the spiritual journey. It's just immensely valuable in opening up the ability to receive from God and to hear His voice speaking to me. I think of Isaiah and his experience of being confronted in God's throne room, and speech is not the answer. It's just to accept who God is. And I believe that as Christians have realized that through the centuries, that it is something that needs to be rediscovered today, of the value of just be still and know that I am God.